first of all, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it. So just thinking about kind of your background, education, your professional journey, and what you're currently doing at Bumble. Can you give us like a little brief synopsis of what that is?
Yeah. So I graduated from TXADPR program in 2013. Since then, I've been at an agency. I've been on the client side for most of the time. Started doing SEO right when I graduated. That kind of like formulated a little career path for me into some more SEO, into just like digital marketing as a whole. So right now at Bumble, I've been there for 3 years, and I run the entire digital marketing program. So global user acquisition through digital ads, essentially, running the SEO program, ASO, which is App Store optimization, and then all the digital ads on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok.
So when we're talking about SEO, it's a common acronym that gets thrown around the digital marketing world a lot. What is your like explanation of what SEO is and what it entails for business if someone doesn't really know what that means?
Well, first, SEO stands for search engine optimization. And at its core, essentially what you're doing is you're optimizing your content, whether that be your website or your video or your restaurant Yelp page or your Airbnb listing, or basically anything that has to do with a search engine. You're optimizing that content for the search engine so that you want to show up for relevant searches. So it's important to kind of take a step back and not think about SEO that's just relating to Google. Obviously, that Google is like the master of search, and they understand more about you than you know. But it's definitely important to realize that there are so many other search engines that a lot of times could actually be, somewhat as beneficial, maybe even more beneficial to focus on than Google. But obviously, you always need to focus on Google first. It's where everyone goes on the internet.
So I guess kind of to further dive into that a little bit, with the current economic and marketing situation that impact that the COVID-19 has kind of had, have you seen SEO and digital marketing changing or shifting at all? And do you think maybe there's like a higher importance on it now that everyone's kind of locked at home?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the world is always changing, right? So you always need to, shift and pivot your strategy for whatever's happening. I've seen some really cool brands that are doing some interesting things, both on like the, serving up relevant content for search engine, but also just on the like paid acquisition side to focus on still their bottom line. So, I mean, they're a business, they need to focus on growth, especially in a uncertain time like right now. But, they're pivoting so that they understand what people want right now, but like can physically do. So, I mean, just take like restaurants for an example that are, really, pivoting their strategy to a takeout and curbside strategy right now that they're probably not used to. They might not be used to. So I think that, as long as you're focused on what the current time is and you're okay with change and okay with pivoting, that's super key.
As far as like students that might be looking into having a career in digital marketing or SEO, is there any advice that you can give them off the bat, kind of just to jumpstart their career in that field?
Nothing is as good as actual real world experience, for sure. It's important to obviously understand, how the basics of, how SEO works or how to set up a Facebook ad. Those are all things that you can learn super easily online. If digital marketing is something that you do want to get into, you definitely read up on all of that. But then once you feel somewhat comfortable, go to a small business, especially right now when small businesses need your help. Go to a small business and offer your services for free. Like, no, you may not have the portfolio of a huge agency or anything, but if you somewhat know what you're doing, and be careful because you might be managing their budgets, but give them the service that you would want to offer someone that would actually pay for it. But yeah, really get your hands dirty. That's by far my biggest suggestion, for sure.
Do you have any other like advice for students or graduates that are entering the market right now, and it might be a little bit of a turbulent time.
The time is turbulent, obviously, but just like we were talking about before, you need to be able to pivot for sure, and like, use what you have at your disposal right now and what you can physically do. I mean, networking is obviously always going to be very important to career growth. Make sure that you're talking to the right people. If you can find a mentor that's in the field of what you want to enter. And it might be a little different now because you probably can't physically meet them, but you can set up calls and everything. And shameless plug, but like, you can use Bumble Biz, which is our professional connections tool on Bumble. Now is the time, especially if you have some free time as you're home and whatnot. Look for people that you really want to connect with and get to know them. And it might be weird because you can't buy them a coffee right now, but like, think of what a virtual version of like buying them a coffee and really sitting down with them is like.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's all great advice. Thank you so much for taking the time today to talk with us, and hopefully everything will turn around here pretty soon.